Hello, my name is John Bachtler. I'm a Director of the European Policies Research Centre at the Universities of Strathclyde and the Technical University of Delft, and I'm also a Vice Chair of the Regional Studies Association. Together with colleagues, I published a book in the Policy Expo series, which is managed by the Regional Studies Association. And this was focusing on the challenges for regional development at European level from structural transformation. And we entitled it Towards Cohesion Policy 4.0. It was written in the run-up to the last reform of cohesion policy in different circumstances to those that apply today. But some of the findings, I think, are still relevant and resonate. And its basic argument was that European countries, European regions are undergoing dramatic pressures of industrial structural change as a result of globalization and technological competitiveness, and of course even more so now from the energy transition and the drive to net zero. What we were arguing for was that this needed to be reflected in the way in which the European Union's premier instrument to address regional disadvantage was designed and implemented. And we set out some proposals for greater prioritization on issues of structural transformation in the policy architecture, more coherence and coordination across different EU policies, and importantly also building the institutional capacity that would be needed to respond to these kind of challenges in a way that is place-based and reflects the territorial dimension. This book was published at a time when the debate on reform of cohesion policy was very, very live, and it fed into debates at European level, at national level, at a critical juncture in the process of developing ideas, proposals, and of course the budget allocation. The book via the RSA got very considerable readership because of the way that it could be disseminated via the association's networks and its very close links with policy communities across Europe. Of course, we are now in a very different situation, but we are again in a period where ideas are being developed for the next reform on post-2027 reforms to the EU budget and of course to cohesion policy. And some of those principles of the challenges of structural transformation are even more pertinent now than they were following COVID, the pandemic and the need for recovery, and the pressures in terms of building resilience of European regions. The challenges of getting a coherent approach across EU policies are still very live because of now the addition of the Recovery and Resilience Facility to the range of EU policy instruments, and the need more than ever to have a place-based response to development challenges and ensure that the transitions that we're going through, the green transition, the digital transition, that they are just and fair, that they take into account the problems of marginalized communities and left behind places.